With publications, we create them based off of a specific topic. And because we don't want to put all this information in our instructions, because then our instructions will look like the IRS instructions, way too thick, and nobody will read them anyway. So we've had 3 publications that dealt with your kids' education in grades K through 12. We had one that was made just for the schools, and that was publication 112. Publication 119 was written directly for people who homeschool, and publication 132 was written for the parents of kids who are public school and private schools. So we condensed all those, and it is now all in publication 112. And this is what the new top of it looks like: education expense general rules, requirements for schools, homeschools, parents, and guardians. Covered it all in one. So just if you go looking for the 3 publications, there's only one going forward. If you've got 3 publications, you may want to get rid of them out of your records and then just keep Pub 112. But because we got rid of some of those publication numbers, the objectives of Pub 112 were to identify who can take the education expense credit, identify what qualified education expenses are, so it tells you what you can and can't take. It also identifies what qualifies as education expenses for homeschooled students, because they've got a few extra that aren't typical for your private and public school kids. It also tells them everything what doesn't count. And it helps identify what qualifies as an Illinois school. It deals with the truancy law and everything in that publication. It also lists the requirements of what needs to be on the written receipts and what you need to attach to your IL 1040 when you are claiming this. And the big thing you need to attach to this is the Schedule ICR. And it also gives an example of what a written receipt should look like. It's your basic stuff. And the receipts come from the school, or if you're homeschooling, it tells what the receipts need to show when you're getting your stuff from other places. Now what we've done is we've written some new publications. We've come up with publication 105. 105 deals with nothing but estimated payments for individual and businesses. So if you want to learn everything you can possibly know about estimated payments, go to publication 105, because there's a lot more information there. Instead of digging through and getting a little bit from the instructions, a little bit from the estimated payment vouchers, we've condensed it all into one spot. We've also created publication 119. It is for non-residents, for the people who need to complete the Schedule NR, non-residents and part-year residents, because that tends to get a little tricky of what do I put where, when did I live where, and all of that. Then, you know how much earned income tax credit has changed just by how much time we've spent talking about it this morning already. Publication 132 is all about earned income tax credit. The new publications, along with other publications, they are on our website at tax.illinoisspelledout.gov. And at the top of the page, you're going to click on Tax Resources. Then when it gives you the drop-down box, you're going to do Research. And then you'll get another screen that says Publications. Click on the publication link, and it will take you to tax publications. And it lists all the tax publications in numerical order, and then a brief description out to the side. So if you can't remember which one is the one for estimated payments, you can go all the way there, and then on the right hand side it'll say estimated payments. Just keep scrolling down till you find it. This is what publication 105 looks like up at the top. Estimated payments, and it is for both individuals and businesses. And the objectives of Pub 105 are going to define estimated payments. It's going to tell you what qualifies and what you need to do. It's going to identify when they are due. It's also going to give you some guidance for making estimated payments, and it's going to tell you what happens if you don't make those timely estimated payments in the amount that you should be making them in. I'll give you a clue. You'll get penalized. It will give you some general information about what are estimated payments. Am I required to make them? That's the first thing you need to read. Before you go through and try to figure out how much you need to make, first read them and see if you really should be making them. And it's going to tell you what to do if I do not receive my income evenly throughout the year. It's going to help you figure out on how to calculate and tell you what you really need to do there. It's going to tell you when they're due, and are there any exceptions? Because, just like everything, there's always exceptions to every rule. There are exceptions to making estimated payments. Then it's going to tell you, what if I do not make my estimated payments, or if I make them late, you get penalized. I'll tell you that. And on the back of all of our publications, every single one, not just this one, every single publication is going to be where all of our district offices are located, and there's going to be general contact information. That is on the back of every single publication that we put out, in addition to the back of our 1040 instructions. Publication 119, it's for non-residents. It's for the Schedule NR. It says that this publication 119 is for individuals, provides guidance on how to complete the Schedule NR non-resident and part-year resident computation of Illinois tax. And the objectives are to provide additional guidance in completing this Schedule NR for both current and prior year tax returns, and it gives you a little help on figuring out part-year residents. One of the things it's going to help you figure out is, what is my domicile? Who is a non-resident? Who is a part-year resident? Do I need to file a tax return if I'm a non-resident? Do I need to file an income tax return if I'm a part-year resident? What if I live in a state that has a reciprocal agreement with Illinois and I work in Illinois? And the reciprocal agreement states are Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Kentucky. Nothing with Indiana, nothing with Missouri. What are my filing requirements as a non-resident student working in Illinois? What if I received income from a business or farm during the tax year? You want the answers to all of those? Go read this publication, it'll tell you. It'll also help you figure out what to do if you received income from partnerships, S-corps, trust, or estates. What if I'm a non-resident professional athlete? And then it's going to tell you, how do I figure the amounts to enter in the Schedule NR Step 3, Column A? Then it's going to help you figure out what to put in Column B of the Schedule NR. I work long-term assignments in other countries. Would I be considered a resident during my assignment? Read this, it'll tell you. And again, office locations and contact information's at the very back. You're going to find this in every single publication. There's going to be objectives and general information. Earned income tax credit, publication 132. The objectives here are to identify who's eligible to take the Illinois EITC. It's going to identify the requirements for the Illinois EITC. It's going to explain how to claim the Illinois EITC. And then general information, what is Illinois EITC? How do I qualify? Who's a qualifying child? And what is considered earned income? Those are all the general information topics that will be in there. And what's the maximum income I can earn to receive Illinois EITC? What's the maximum amount of Illinois EITC I can receive? How do I claim Illinois EITC? These are all general information. These are all topics that are separated out separately in the publications.